Oh, that's what I missed in the E-Class. It's just so fun. Let's do it again. Oh, I just love this car, and every time I'm away from it and drive something else and get back into it, I'm just in awe. It's just so fun. What's up guys, welcome to AB Auto. Now, today we're going to be talking about the comfort of my C43 right here. So the reason why AMGs are so popular is because they have the comfort and the luxury of a nice Mercedes, but at the same time they have the fun, the aggression and the raw power of a proper sports car. They're pretty much best of both worlds, but how comfortable is this AMG right here? So I thought, what better way to test how comfortable this car is than by comparing it directly with one of Mercedes' most comfortable cars, and by that we're talking about the 220d E-Class Saloon. It's the executive line, so it's got the smaller wheels, they're a lot softer. The car is basically built for comfort and long drives. Right guys, so here's how this video is going to work. So first we're going to jump into the E-Class. We're going to take it for a long drive. We're going to do my commute to work. We're going to test out its comfort. We're going to test out the drive modes. We're going to see how fun it is, how fast it is in comparison. And then afterwards, we're going to jump back into my C43 right here, and we're going to directly compare the comfort, and also, of course, we're going to have some fun with the exhaust and compare the excitement of the two cars. Right, so now let's kick things off, and we'll start in the E-Class, and we'll see how comfortable it is. Here we are guys, we're in the E-Class now. This is a courtesy car. The AMG is up for its service. They've very kindly given me an E-Class, and it's the super comfortable version. So this is going to be a really interesting comparison between the AMG and basically one of the most comfortable cars Mercedes make. So let's start it up and let's go. So first impressions, I love this big screen here. It's a lot bigger than I remember from when I drove one of these before. It's extremely clear and high res. Really, really nice. It's a really nice interior. It's a really nice place to be. Steering feels super light, but not necessarily in a good way. I mean, it's very easy to maneuver for a big car. Oh, it's got a bit of grunt to it. This is the diesel engine. I believe this is the E220d. The thing with diesel is you get a lot of torque at the beginning. Anyway, so first impressions coming from a C43 AMG. First one is, wow, it's incredibly comfortable. It's just gliding on the road. It's a bit disconcerting because I can't feel the road at all. This is super smooth. I think it's on the bigger wheels as well. Oh, it feels a bit boaty. It's a big car, this. It's a big old car. I don't think you could go around corners too fast in this thing. Right, we get roundabout now, so let's put it in Sport Plus and let's see how quick this car can get off the line. It's a bit wet. Wow, it definitely feels different in Sport Plus. Oh, it feels really slow actually. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a fast car, and you could equally drive one of these and feel like you're in a fast machine and you could get about, but just compared to the AMG, it just does not feel as quick. You've got that initial torque and then it just kind of dies. I mean, there's not a huge amount to say really. I mean, they're both extremely different cars. It's really interesting going from one to the other, because obviously the AMG is, you know, the AMGs are designed to be powerhouses, but they're also designed to have that comfort as well. You kind of get a best of both worlds. I mean, the C43 is not as comfortable as the E-Class, but I must say, it's not too dissimilar. I'm not missing, I don't think I'm going to miss much when I get back to the C43 in the comfort department. However, I am missing a lot of the fun elements of the AMG here. I mean, the exhaust sound is the biggest one. That's the most fun part about the AMG, in my opinion. It just sounds amazing, and just the sheer torque of the thing as well. I think it's like 520 newton meters of torque, the C43, and I'm not sure what this is, but it's nowhere near that, I can tell you. But you know, if you want a car that just gets you from A to B really, really comfortably, it's got all the technology that you'd ever want, and the interior is absolutely stunning. I love the E-Class interior. I've always been a massive fan of the E-Class interior. Okay, we're going to floor it. We're going to put it in Sport Plus. Here we go. Well, this is a bit underwhelming, I must say. I think because it's so comfortable, it doesn't feel like you're going very fast either. There was absolutely no drama there. Very, very, very different to the AMG, that's for sure. Right guys, so that is the E-Class, very comfortable, not as exciting. Let's see what happens now when we jump back into the C43 after driving the E-Class. We're going to see exactly how comfortable it is in comparison, and also, of course, how much more fun it is. Okie dokie, so we are back in the AMG, and boy does it feel good. I don't know about you guys, but every time I have a courtesy car and I'm away from the AMG for a little while, it feels so good to be back in this cockpit here. Now, I was saying earlier when I was in the E-Class that I really, really like the big dash and the open space. I mean, I always kind of wish that I had it in the C-Class, but I tell you what, guys, coming back now into this, right in here, I'm not quite sure I do. And the reason why is because it just feels so much more sporty and so much more like you're tucked in when you've got a separate screen here and then another screen there. I think the best way to describe it would be is that driving the E-Class is like driving a big commercial airplane. And then when you get into the C-Class with the AMG and the steering wheel and the tucked in much more set in seat with the screen here, it feels more like you're in a fighter jet. That would be the comparison for me. You've got the big, comfortable, very streamlined fighter plane, and then in here you've got the furious, tucked in, aggressive fighter jet that is the C43 AMG. So we're just driving in comfort mode now. We haven't got the exhaust turned on. First impressions coming back from the E-Class is the steering is so much more heavier here in the C43, and that's because it's the AMG and it's so much more grounded, and it's a good thing. You can definitely feel a lot more weight at the front with the V6 engine. It's a lot heavier than the 4 cylinders. But you know, actually, when I was in the E-Class earlier, I was thinking to myself, wow, this is so comfortable. I mean, it was the most comfortable E-Class you can probably get. It was the diesel, it had the smaller wheels, so it was a lot softer on the road. And I was driving, I was thinking, God, the C43 is actually a bit rough in comparison to this. But now that I'm back in the C43 and I'm driving here in comfort mode, you can probably hear this is a horrendous road we're on. It actually isn't bad. I wouldn't say that, I mean, there's a difference, obviously, because we're talking AMG and comfort, but I think if you had the smaller tyres on the C43 here, I think it would be very, very comfortable and almost as comfortable as the E-Class, which really surprises me. You can definitely feel around the corners there. It feels a lot smaller and a lot nimbler. We're just in the comfort mode setting too, so once we start going into the more sporty drive modes, the steering's going to stiffen up even more. We're going to even feel like we're even more closer to the ground, more grip. It's going to feel really tight and good. And that's something that I was really missing on the E-Class. The E-Class felt too big, it felt quite boaty. It was really comfortable and great for straight lines, but I wouldn't see myself racing around corners in that car, but that's not what it's designed for, so that's fair enough. Okay, we're coming down to some traffic lights now, and the engine is warming up, so we're going to start looking at what this car was made for. We're going to pop it into Sport Plus, we're going to get the exhaust on, and we're going to have some AMG love to get back into it. Okay, let's try some Sport Plus now, because that's what this car's all about. Immediately you can just hear that roar. The exhaust opens up, and it's just... Alright, let's give it the beans. Oh. See that little crackle at the end there, it's not quite fully warmed up. Oh, that's what I missed in the E-Class. It's just so fun. Let's do it again. Oh. I just love this car, and every time I'm away from it and drive something else and get back into it, I'm just in awe. It's just so fun. Just everything, all this stitching. Oh. Right, we're just going to a roundabout, and we're going to accelerate again now, and we're going to do some Sport Plus. Here we go. And we let go. Oh, hear those pops at the back. I don't know if it's going to come out quite well on this microphone because I've got the speaking microphone, but hey, I'm sure you can see the emotion on my face. I mean, when we were in the E-Class, we were trying to do that, and it just wasn't happening. I mean, don't get me wrong, the E-Class, it's not the slowest car in the world. I mean, it was the 220d. Obviously, it's diesel engine, so they have a lot of grunt at the low rev range and a lot of torque. Obviously, not as much torque as the 400 brake horsepower C43 here, but yeah, they're quite quick, and they can get you They can get you in and out of those sticky situations. But it's the emotion that we're missing here. I mean, just look at this. How cool is that? I could do that all day. Okay guys, so we're coming up to the dual carriageway motorway portion of my commute now, and we're at a traffic light. We're actually at the front of the traffic lights, so we're gonna do a Sport Plus pull onto the motorway, which should be quite fun, and then we're going to put it in comfort mode and we're going to compare kind of how the two sit if you want a quiet, comfortable ride without the exhaust turned on. So this will be interesting. But of course we're going to do the Sport Plus acceleration first. All right, here's what we were missing. 3, 2, 1, boom. Oh, it's fast. Oh, it feels so much faster after driving the E-Class. Right, so let's see how comfortable it is. So if we pop it into comfort mode, exhaust is turned off. Really, the engine goes super quiet. What you're hearing right now is mostly road noise. One of the things that's kind of always bothered me about the car since I've got it is there is a lot of road noise, and sometimes to the extent that I actually think the window might slightly be open. And someone asked me about this in the comments section of one of my other videos that own one of these cars too, and I knew exactly what they were talking about. I sometimes find myself hearing this quite loud wind noise and thinking, have I got the window slightly open? So I just end up pressing the window buttons to check, and the window's never open. Anyway, so here we are, we're just cruising now. We're 70 miles an hour speed limit. Yeah, I'm barely having to touch the throttle, and it just glides. There's not really a huge amount more to say, really. Just listen to how quiet it is. It's really comfortable. We're still on the run flat tyres as well. And then, you know, one of the cool things about the comfort mode in this car, which I didn't realise until I kind of got more into the nit and grit of it, was that it's actually a progressive gearbox. And what that means is the drive mode is going to adapt to your driving style. So if you're in comfort mode and you're just cruising along like this, it's going to keep the gears as high as possible. It's going to keep the gearbox as smooth as possible on the gear changes. But if you start driving it around like a twat and accelerating all of a sudden, you know, accelerating harder for line, then it's going to adapt. It's going to give you a kind of sporty comfort mode. You see though, we're in 9th gear now and we're cruising, and if I just suddenly put full throttle down, it instantly drops to 4th gear, and you just have that instant power. It's very, very clever and very, very quick. And the sounds you're hearing right now, this is with the exhaust valves turned off, so this is the car in its most quiet mode. So there we have it guys, that is my comparison from the C43 AMG to an E-Class diesel. I hope you enjoyed that video and it was informative. If you liked it, then please hit that thumbs up because it really helps me and the channel out. And if you want to see more great content on this car and other Mercedes, then hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time.